In February of 2007, at the American Academy of Dermatology meeting in Washington, D.C., I was in a seminar which dealt with all aspects of cosmetic surgery and liposuction in particular, and it was announced there that smart lipo, which is the use of a tiny laser on the end of a wire, had finally been approved in the United States by the FDA. It's been in use in South America and in Europe for quite some time with stunning results. What this means to someone who for many years has used traditional liposuction with a tube and a suction pump with all of its attendant issues, including sometimes more pain than we would like to have the patient suffer, with results that included skin that possibly was a little looser or laxer after the procedure, even though the fat was gone, and with sometimes bleeding as well. Well, many of those things have taken a back seat to the incredible results now that can be obtained by using just a 1 millimeter wire, pencil lead thin wire, which is inserted through a needle stick or a series of needle sticks around the area to be treated. The laser tip, the little laser light at the end of this wire, melts the fat away. In the process, it heats up the underlying surface of the skin from underneath and tightens the skin rather than adds to its looseness. At the same time, even other issues which conventional liposuction did very little for, such as cellulite and stretch marks, can be drastically improved. Oftentimes this procedure, once the laser liposuction is done, actual conventional liposuction it then follows, but it follows into an area which has already been opened up by the laser, and so it basically becomes the suctioning of the oil that has been generated by the laser rather than the fat cells themselves. The results are beyond what we have come to expect with regular liposuction. They are in many cases exceptional. Areas where there is not a great deal of fat, but where, for instance, there is loose skin, areas such as the neck and the jowl areas, the inner thighs, which heretofore were untouchable areas because of the laxity of the skin, they can now be treated. Under the arms in women, quite a problem. And even a condition which is very common and difficult to permanently resolve is now treatable with this new technique, and that is a condition where underarm sweating is excessive. The laser is introduced in through a little needle stick, and the excessively active sweat glands are melted away. So the result is a normal amount of sweating. Downtime is much reduced, the amount of binding, and in general the amount of aftercare is much reduced with this procedure. In South America, where it's been done widely and for years, it's referred to as the lunchtime liposuction. If you're interested in this new procedure, give us a call. We'll be glad to talk to you about it and to explain in detail how it's done.
There is a major new high-tech advance in one of the most popular cosmetic procedures in the United States, the use of lasers for liposuction. Here's ABC's Tiana Hernandez now.
Forget the vacuum and say hello to the laser. The FDA has just approved a new, less invasive technique for liposuction called laser body sculpting.
And if you do traditional liposuction, you can actually make the skin look worse. It makes it look pretty much like a deflated balloon. This type of laser technology allows us to melt the fat and tighten the skin at the same time.
Here's how it works. Using a local anesthetic, doctors insert a small tube with a laser under the skin.
As the laser tip comes into contact with the fat cells, it literally melts the fat.
That melted fat then drains away from the body.
There's very minimal bruising, there's very minimal swelling afterwards. The incision site that you enter into the skin is very small, so you don't even have to put a stitch into it.
But this new procedure isn't for everybody. Doctors say the laser system is best suited for targeting small fat deposits in otherwise healthy people and is not a cure for obesity.
There will never be a magic wand of cosmetic surgery, whether it's with liposuction or any other technique. Sometimes the hype goes beyond what can actually be accomplished.
For Good Morning America, Taina Hernandez.
All right, welcome back. We were just talking a little bit about how we like to eat, great
we
food.
had a great long weekend of eating.
I mean, you can't help yourself. You ever wish that you could just melt away the fat like those extra pounds you may have packed on over Thanksgiving?
Dr. Subna Parikh now has a new procedure that promises to do just that.
I just wasn't happy with how I looked after I had my children.
Liz is a former model who wanted to get back to her runway look. But after having 2 boys and gaining 47 pounds, she says dieting alone was not solving the entire problem.
You lose a lot of elasticity in your skin.
Liposuction was an option. However, it just removes fat. It does not tighten the skin. But now a new procedure promises to do both. It's called Smart Lipo. Dr. Bruce Katz, a cosmetic dermatologist in Manhattan, says the big difference is in the wand, or the cannula. It has a laser on the tip.
The fat actually is liquefied, and then we just suction it out. And at the same time, it stimulates new collagen, so it tightens the skin too.
The cannula is also a lot thinner than the one used in traditional liposuction.
The tip here is so tiny that you won't have any scars from the incision. Whereas when you make an incision to accommodate this cannula, the scar is going to be sizable.
Some critics say the laser is dangerous and can cause burning, but Dr. Katz says in the right hands, this should not be a problem.
We really haven't seen any burning of the skin with this laser technology. Of course, it has to be used properly.
Smart lipo can be done on other areas of the body, like the neck or the chin. As for Liz, she says this new procedure gave her back a flat stomach.
I'm very happy. Huge difference.